since I had work again, I'm very, very tired. So I thought that today we could just talk about, or I could just talk about the various jobs that I've had, because for my age, I have had many. The first job I ever had, job I guess, was I babysat for my 7th grade English teacher when I was in 8th grade. This only happened a couple times, but it was. So, I'm gonna be rating these also. So, 8th grade babysitting, 8 out of 10. She paid me very, very well. The kids were pretty much well behaved, except there was a set of 4-year-old twins, so that's always a handful. My second job was when I was going between freshman year and sophomore year of high school, because I wasn't old enough before then to work. And I worked at a local water park called Aquaboggan. 4 out of 10 for that one. The pay was mid. I think I was making $12 an hour, which was minimum wage in my state at the time. I met someone there who it led to a very bad experience. So that's distracting points. Something that's adding points, the reason it's not a 1 out of 10 was because I did get to hang out for 1 hour for free at the end of every day, because we closed at 5 and the park closed at 6. So I got an hour of free water park every time I worked, which was kind of slay. It was really, really hot where I worked in the food section, which was not safe. I was 14, 15, split evenly between the summer. Working grills and fryers, which is illegal. It is illegal. And it was frequently 110 degrees in there. Plus, we all had to wear masks because, safety. And that job ended up getting shut down in early August. So I really only worked there for about a month and a half, because they opened on July 4th. They got closed down in early to mid-August for not following safety protocols. So I think that says a lot. And then I worked at a local Greek place. It was sort of like Subway, but for gyro, which is like it's delicious, and he only sold chicken, so it was like the only meat he had was chicken. So it was chicken, various vegetables, pita sauce, which was like Greek yogurt with spices, or hummus or tzatziki, whatever you wanted it, and then like all wrapped up in a nice warm pita bread, and it was so good, so good. I still go there a lot, but he's not really open very often anymore. 5 out of 10 for that one. The pay was mid. I only got one shift a week. His expectations changed every single time I went there, but it was fun, and I liked our recurring customers, and my best friend got me the job, and we worked together a couple times, and I got to wash dishes, which is a very good task for me because I'm very methodical. Next one is, I worked at a summer camp, a Christian summer camp. I got paid $7.25 an hour. The reason that I was able to get paid this little was because they were funded by a Baptist church based in Massachusetts, and the minimum wage in Massachusetts was the federal minimum wage, which at the time was $7.25. I worked over 40 hours a week. There was no record of this because there was no time clock, so I got paid for 40 hours a week when I was working more like 45. It was way in over my head. Me and like one other person were in charge of 19 5 to 8-year-olds, with very, very little training. Neither of us were first aid certified, which was a problem because kids got hurt a lot. So I ended up quitting that job. I only worked there for about a month. You're gonna notice this pattern with my summer jobs. That was really bad, but I did make a couple friends, so that's why it's not a 1 out of 10. I worked at Target that Christmas. I'm going to rate that one a 5 out of 10 because I got paid between $15 and $17 an hour. I got paid 17 on the weekends, Christmas Eve, day after Christmas, and New Year's Eve, because they were holidays. They did schedule me 24 hours per week during school, plus my other activities that I do. It was really, really boring. Like, I stocked the shelves. I was a closing expert. What that really meant is they gave me a U-boat full of merchandise that I was supposed to put on the shelves, despite the fact that the shelves were already over full. You can imagine my frustration in that case when I was walking around. There was stuff all over the floor, and I couldn't pick it up because I had to just shove more stuff on the shelves. Starbucks, I'm giving that a 9 out of 10 because that was the best job I've had yet. It would be a 10 out of 10 if there wasn't a management change a couple months before I left. That's actually the reason I left. But I loved my coworkers. The job was great for me. I'm really good with tasks. So I really was good at breakdown and making the drinks, even though I complained about making frappuccinos a lot because I worked in a non-drive-through store in a mall. So it was mostly kids ordering frappuccinos, which was annoying because we, 2 blenders, 7 venti frappuccinos, you do the math. I forgot to mention this when I worked, and I'm probably going to do this again this summer. I worked at the summer camp for my Kung Fu studio. That's a solid 7 out of 10 for me because I would rate it higher because the pay is great. I really trust the guy who runs it because he's also my Sifu, and we have a really good working relationship. I have a lot of faith in him. But, it takes a lot out of me to work with kids like that. But most of them are very respectful. It does take a lot out of me to do that. And the other main con is that it does take up my entire day for, like, a whole 5-day week. So it's kind of like, my summer. But, I'd rather be doing that than, some other stupid thing. And where I work now, I work at a Hannaford's. I'm rating that 6 out of 10. They're very flexible with your scheduling. There's some variation, like sometimes you get to do carts or you get to be a bagger instead of a cashier. And being a bagger is really stressful, but it's still better than having to do all the money stuff. I work there about 12, 14 hours a week, and it's fine. I've been getting better shifts as I've been working there longer. So basically the pay is decent. I am getting paid more than most people my age who work there because I have a ton of work experience. And I get to push carts around sometimes. So, 6 out of 10. Bottom line is that employment as someone who has not gone to college, so doesn't have like a specialized thing to get like a better, more like adult kind of job is mid at best, but sometimes you get a diamond in the rough like Starbucks for most of the time I worked there. Having a job sucks, but having one where you can match your needs, like, having a job sucks, but having something where you can, like, match what you like to do, versus, like, what you're not good at. Like, I hate the customer service stuff, so, like, finding somewhere between, in that, as best you can, with, like, retail service jobs, is the ticket right there. So don't listen to anyone that says you have to work at a grocery store or like be a babysitter if you hate kids. So don't do that. Just, figure something out. It's doable if you want to do it. And if you don't want to do it, more power to you, honestly. You have too much going on with school.